All right, our next guest from NBC Sports played quarterback at Texas, played in the NFL, and he loves to visit a dispensary. He never played football high that we know of. Here's Chris Sims.
That was a good one right there. I've never been introduced like that right there. Never. No, I don't ever smoke on the job. I never smoke on the job. Never. I'm an end of the day kind of guy. So even post football, right? I mean, never.
So when you've done football night in America, never done anything.
Right. Never. Yeah, I can't do it that way.
Or
right?
pro football talk with Mike Florio.
Early in the morning, wake and bake. No, that's not happening either. Right. 7 a.m.
But in college, you may have.
Yeah, in college is kind of where it started, right? It's kind of where I started to go down that route of smoking a little. I didn't think we were going to be starting our Super Bowl conversation with this conversation here. But either way, we might as well. Yeah, it started in college a little bit just because, 6th Street, Austin, Texas, I'd go out with my friends. I'd have drinks, and I'd be like, man, I just can't do it. I don't like drinking, and I'd get hungover or throw up or whatever. And that's where I started to dabble in the, smoking a little bit.
Okay, but the whole thing about dealing with pain with athletes, I mean, This is serious. This is real.
It's definitely serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
But where are we going with that medicinal use of marijuana with athletes? I don't know if it helps with CTE. I don't know what the studies show.
I don't know all that either. I do know that it's a better option than options that were out there before, right? I had teammates and friends who certainly got into opioid addictions because, especially in my day back in, the 2010, 2008, the drug testing was much more strict. So you weren't going to be able to do that. And so guys then would go the pill route. And it caused problems. I mean, lots of problems, whether it was, with their stomach and their digestive system, them getting addicted to it, whatever, the mental aspect of it. But I think we're at a much better place now. And I think, we're accepting of it. I mean, look, we're sitting at Super Bowl 59 starting off a conversation with it.
Are these the two best teams in the NFL?
Yes. Yeah, they're the two best. I mean, the Ravens would have been right there with it, right? I mean, the Ravens when the playoffs started are the team I picked to go to the Super Bowl. I thought, when this playoffs started, I said, man, the Ravens are playing the best ball right now. They look like they're peaking, but certainly the Chiefs are right there with them. The Eagles, though, I don't know if, I can't emphasize this enough. I've been trying to say this for about the last month. The Eagles are an all-star team. It's one of the best teams we've seen post the new free agency, salary cap era, well-constructed teams that I've ever seen. It's one of the best O-lines ever. I would put it up there with the 90s Cowboys. It's that good. It is that good. They run 3 plays, and he runs for 2,000 yards. They run 3 plays. They don't run a lot of pass plays either.
Wait a minute. Give me the 3 plays.
They run inside zone, outside zone, and you'll see 2 pullers every now and then. It's the only 3 runs they run. And they go, we're so good at it, screw you, we're coming at you with it, and you can't stop it. That's how good they are. And offensively in their pass game, this is one of the things I worry about with the game is because my thing with the matchup is it's kind of brains versus brawn. It's the Chiefs who do everything, and it's the Eagles who are just like, we're here. And you know what we're going to do, and you still can't stop it. And they pose problems for you, the Eagles. With that O-line, that running game, Jalen Hurts' ability to run the ball. And then, of course, he's a good deep ball thrower. That's his best thing. So now you get one-on-one with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. They cause problems for you, and that's where this game's going to be really interesting.
But it feels like there's a concerted effort to have Jalen Hurts throw less.
Yeah.
That they're better
definitely.
when he throws less.
I think it kind of just manifested that way a little bit between, they were running the ball well. I don't think he was playing his best football. Then he got hurt. And then they kind of got pigeonholed into, he's not hitting on all cylinders right now and playing his best football. So let's lean on the run game a little bit more. But if he throws the ball like he did in the NFC Championship, right, that's the Chiefs will have to play a special game to beat them, I think, yeah.
But is it more important that the Eagles' offense is great or the Eagles' defense is great?
Ooh, that's a good question there. I would say more the Eagles' defense, though. Yeah, still the Eagles' defense. The Eagles' defense, it's the best in football. They got everything, right? Jalen Carter is arguably the best defensive player in the game. They got really good secondary players. They're simple, too, though. Vic Fangio, he's the man. I have mad respect for Vic Fangio. But they're another team. They don't do a lot. They're kind of just like, hey, we're good. We know what we're going to do. We know you can't expose us in our rules because we're so, honed in on all of it. And they're going to, I think, have to change a little bit because can you sit there and play zone against Patrick Mahomes all game? No. No way. It's what happened in Buffalo. The first 2 series, they played zone, and he just went zoom, 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 zoom. And then they went, oh, crap, let's play man for the rest of the game. And then you saw all these man plays as the game went on. And that's going to be one of the chess matches of this thing is can Philly play the defense they want to play against this guy playing quarterback?
But also, does Jalen Hurts try to do too much? You know, when you're opposite Patrick Mahomes, when you're opposite a great player, you kind of want to match them.
Exactly.
You know, Josh Allen is, fallen prey to this.
Sure. Lamar Jackson, right?
Yeah.
It's all that. You know, people go, oh, they choked. I go, no, Lamar didn't choke. Lamar wants it so bad, he's trying to do everything to get there, right? He's got a guy holding on his leg, and he's doing a 3-point stance trying to, 360 out of it to still make a throw, and then he fumbles the football. He's not choking. He's just maybe doing too much. Same with Josh Allen, certainly. Yeah, you don't want to fall in that trap if you're Jalen Hurts. He was pretty good in the first Super Bowl, right? I mean, the fumble was a huge part of the game, certainly. But if he plays like that again, then they're going to be really tough to beat.
Let's say the Chiefs win.
Yeah.
Greatest team of all time?
I mean, it's the greatest team of all time in a 4 or 5 year span, maybe. That's what I would say.
But not this season. If what they've done.
Yeah.
Can you label them the greatest? This
season? No way.
Okay, which team is the greatest?
Gosh, I mean, it's hard for me not to look at like the '92 Cowboys and the '89 49ers and teams like that where I go, again, it's a little unfair because as you know, it's pre-salary cap, and those teams were stacked. But those teams, I mean, we go back, those teams weren't eking out every game going, oh, I hope they miss a field goal. I hope we block it. I hope something magical happens. Those teams were dominating football teams. I think you can remember that. And, yeah, I don't know if it matches up with that.
We're talking to Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk live co-host. You can see that on Peacock prior to our show. Chris Sims Unbuttoned podcast and a contributor to NBC Football Night in America. The football equivalent to Luka and Anthony Davis.
I know. I heard you say that, and I did see Schefter's tweet too. And it was something more along the lines of like what you were saying. Older, good quarterback for somebody in his prime. I don't know who
Dak
that would
is
be.
32.
Right.
Prone.
Or Jared Goff type of age for one of these young whippersnappers who's a star right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, there's 4 quarterbacks that stand alone in football right now. And you know who they are. Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow are on another level. Then we can get into a discussion about the other guys. But those 4 are, like, far and away the best in the game right now.
But you look back on the Herschel deal.
Yeah. I remember it, man.
That changed the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, it won them 3 Super Bowls.
Changed football.
Right.
Andrew Luck announcing his retirement.
It changed some stuff.
That was one of those where you didn't believe it.
Right.
But I don't know if there's anything else that comes to mind because you normally don't get big NFL trades.
No. I mean, Eric Dickerson in the 80s, I remember him, right? That was a big one. That was a big deal. You guys hit on Ricky Williams, of course. That was huge draft day. But, yeah, nothing that I can, nothing to where you can go star for star like that. I mean, I'm not even in NBA mode, but I woke up on Sunday morning like, holy crap. What?
We did the
Is
same
this
thing.
real? Was this real? My son texts me and he's like, did this really happen? And I was like, I think it did.
I did the same thing, but I had people texting me that just said OMG or WTF.
Right.
So I don't even know what they're talking about.
Right. Yeah, I just saw Luka. I think that was the first text I got. I can't believe they traded Luka. And I'm like, what? Looking around.
Off-season Sam Darnold. What the Raiders doing. Chip Kelly just got hired.
Yeah,
OC.
I like that. I like Pete Carroll being the head coach there. They're kind of a team that's in a little disarray. Get a guy in there that kind of lead them into the future in the right direction. How long that future will be, I don't know, but Pete can certainly energize an organization.
But can you bring in Russell Wilson if you're Pete Carroll, even though Russ tried to get Pete fired in Seattle?
Exactly, no.
Other than that.
I don't think even from a football, decision-making process, that's a logical thing to do right now. I would be shocked if he's back with the Steelers as the quarterback.
I wouldn't have him back.
Right.
I would try with Justin Fields.
If you gave me the option of him or Justin Fields, I'd go, there's more upside with Justin Fields. I think Russell, maybe he gets another shot to be a starter somewhere. But if it does, it's going to be something like Sam Darnold was just a part of. Like, hey, we're going to sign you, but we might draft a quarterback too. Right? You're just going to be a bridge guy. But I don't even know if that's going to happen. It'll be interesting. Sam Darnold will be interesting. That I could see.
Are you paying Brock Purdy? Is your buddy?
I don't know.
Is Kyle
He
Shanahan
doesn't
gonna,
probably want me to talk about these subjects and say these things, but I wouldn't pay him. Like, pay him what? What?
full boat?
No way. No way. That's crazy. I think that's crazy. This has to stop. To me, like, again, I'll go to the Dolphins too with Tua, $55 million a year for what? Who was going to pay him $35 million a year? They're negotiating against themselves. Like, why? No, nobody's going to like go, oh my gosh, the 49ers didn't pay Brock Purdy. Let's trade the farm for him, or we'll break the bank for him. He's really good, but what's wrong with paying the quarterback $35 million a year when he's kind of the middle of the pack quarterback in the NFL? That's where I look at Brock Purdy. I think he's about 15, 16, 17, 18, somewhere in that range. So I wouldn't do that, and I think that's how teams are going to mess up their teams and their rosters for the future, making those decisions.
The Titans on record is talking about generational talent at the top of the draft. Generational talent doesn't sound like the two quarterbacks.
I don't know if they are either. You're right. I mean, are they talking about Travis Hunter, maybe? I mean, I don't know if that's the guy they're talking about.
Carter.
Or Abdul Carter, somebody like that. The quarterbacks, I do like them. I do. Now, I mean, do I like them as much as the top two guys as last year? And I haven't gotten into studying these guys quite yet, but of course watch college football. And I love Shedeur Sanders. I think he's old school. I mean, when I watch him, I think it's Doug Williams. He's just standing back there like, oh, I'm going to throw a rifle down the field.
How did Deion's kids not get his speed?
Right? How did that happen? I said that to my wife the other day. I was like, isn't it funny? His son's this big pocket passing quarterback, strong, makes good decisions, puts the ball wherever he wants. Slow as hell. And Deion's the fastest human I've ever seen on a football field. Cam Ward's special too, though. I do like Cam Ward. I do. Cam Ward's got a little more size to him than I thought. And, of course, his ability, his arm is real, all the different angles, the strength of it. And then, of course, he can make people miss in the pocket to then throw the ball down the field, too. He's pretty damn good.
Can you see Deion influencing the draft? How would he influence the draft?
I think he could influence it. Deion's a master, right? I'm one of the reasons I wore number 2 is because of Deion. Deion.
And you're slow as hell, too.
Slow as hell, too, right. So all the quarterbacks that like Deion are slow, and they're not like Deion, right? That's why I dreamed to be like that.
You didn't want your dad's number?
I mean, I did for a little, but, when I got to, like, freshman year in high school, Deion and Derek Jeter were kicking some butt. And I was like, no quarterbacks are wearing number 2. And I was like, I'm going to be the guy that brings 2 to life, right? That's kind of what I thought.
Okay.
Of course, I didn't bring it much to life, but I literally almost tried to die in it when I lost my spleen and all of it. but either way,
just imagine how history would have treated you.
I know.
You left it all out on the field.
Right.
Like,
when I see Kyle Trask wearing 2, I'm like, they didn't retire my jersey. What are they doing down there in Tampa? How could they do that to me?
Yeah.
Only guy ever that almost died on a field.
Where is your spleen?
I guess in a garbage somewhere,
They didn't even let you keep it?
No. What do you think? I was going to bring it home and put it on like the trophy case and be like, hey, guys, look at this,
I would have displayed it on the show.
Thomas Davis did this to me.
I would have displayed it on the show.
I know. I actually, honestly, I'm crazy enough that I probably would have. But, yeah, I never got that option. And, things were kind of emergency at that point. So, yeah, that was it. God. Yeah. But Deion can influence the draft. I think if his son tells him he's not feeling a spot or whatever like that, Deion will say it publicly or let the message out there that they're not in favor of it. And that's where I feel like he can sway things a little bit.
We just had Ross Tucker on last hour, and he, of course, covers the Eagles throughout the season. He's taking the Chiefs over the Eagles because he said, I can't go against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
I know.
If it's going to be a one-score game.
I know. That's the hard thing. There's no doubt the Eagles are better than the Chiefs. There's no doubt.
But they have to be up by at least 10 with 2 minutes to go.
You feel like they got to be like that. It's got to be one of those games. We're up 34-24. If it's 30-24, I'm going to be sitting on the couch going, oh, crap, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. Here he comes. Here comes 15.
Yeah.
So, yes, I agree with you there. I'm going to tell you, I feel like I'm leaning Eagles. I lied to you last year.
Yeah, you did. Why?
You know that? Because I got scared. I was kind of in between, and it was a Monday, and I was afraid that the Shanahans and all my family friends and all my Texas friends were going to go, what the F? You picked the Chiefs right on the Monday to start the Super Bowl? So I was like a little undecided. I was like, I think I'm going to pick the Chiefs, but I came on here and said the 49ers. And then, of course, as you saw on my shows and everything, I picked the the Chiefs later in the week.
But
I
I don't
chickened
know.
out.
Are you lying to me
I
now?
will not lie to you now. There's no friends or family here that I'm worried about, right? There's no connections to the past.
So you're taking the Chiefs.
I don't know if I am. I think I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm going to go with the team that I think is the best. Now, the Chiefs continually can ruin that, and they've done that to me. I'm not sure they've been the better team in any Super Bowl they've played yet. I don't know.
But they've graduated to the Brady Belichick
Definitely.
level.
And they've graduated to like, wait, oh, this is a clutch moment? Do I have a pulse, right? I mean, that's where they're scary. When you win a Super Bowl and you do it the way they did it, nothing can make them nervous anymore. Nothing. Like when I see them in week 8 and I'm like, these guys aren't nervous after 3 10-point deficits in a Super Bowl to come back and win. They don't give a crap about week 8. We're down by 4 in the fourth quarter. And I don't think they'll care about this one. The start of the game is going to be big in this because I do think the Eagles are going to manage emotions a little. And the Chiefs are going to be like, let's go. We've been here before. And that's where I do worry about the Eagles letting the game get away from them right out of the gate a little bit.
Great to talk to you again.
Always great to talk to you, too. I'm knocking the mic off in the end.
Yeah, just
Did I hear Ross sat there?
No, he sat
At first? I know.
He was going to.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a lineman.
I know.
You have to tell him where to go.
Come on, Ross.
And he went to Princeton.
Smarter but not smart. It's those Princeton
Book
things.
smart,
Yeah,
like Fritzy.
right,
Book
right.
smart. But can't go cross a crosswalk.
Right.
Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk Live co-host and contributor to Football Night in America, his podcast, Unbuttoned. We'll take a break. We'll get to your phone calls coming up right after this.